Hello!
Hello!
Welcome back to a new weekly video vlog.
Video vlog. Okay, so what are we talking about this week, Jamie?
Well, yesterday was an interesting day, and I thought, well, we'll definitely have to make a vlog about that, because I woke up feeling quite good, and it was literally we'd just woken up, and then Andrew gave me a compliment.
And I was trying to be nice, and I'm sure this happens all the time in relationships around the world since the dawn of time. I said, wow, when I first saw your hips, I thought, wow, I've never seen that before. And I said it with a smile on my face, and I said it with happiness, joy, love in my eyes.
And then for me, when I heard, I've never seen anything like it before, I went straight into my insecurity, and I was like, I'm weird. Have I got such massive hips? Has no one else got hips like me? So, and then I started crying, and then he was
yeah,
like...
and I was like, well, I mean, I didn't mean to, I kind of meant that you were lovely and beautiful, but obviously you can't watch your words all the time, and that's the problem with life, isn't it? Interpretation.
Well, it's interpretation.
So today we're talking about body confidence.
Yes. And it was really interesting the rest of the day. So after this happened in the morning, I really struggled, and I was like, well, I know it hasn't got anything to do with what he said, and he meant it in a good way, but it triggered something within me that really hurt.
Yeah.
So then we went to the gym for a good workout.
Because we both like taking care of our appearance and being healthy, and we like to work out.
Yeah.
But at the gym, as you know, the gym is a minefield of body confidence issues, and also people just running around doing stuff in basically their underwear.
Yeah.
So we got in the gym. Jamie's on the rowing machine. I've got chains of coming in.
Yeah, rowing. I'm rowing through the gym, loving it. Look like Elmo on a rowing machine.
So I sit down and I look at Jamie, and Jamie's all of a sudden noticed a lady to her left, and I've clocked that she's noticed this lady who's basically in underwear. Full midriff showing.
Yeah, good midriff. Midriff. And it wasn't just her. There was also a lot of other women. They were doing a HIIT class or circuit training, and don't really matter. And then I just, in my head, I'm like, I've got big hips. I've got bigger hips than all the women out here. And then I saw her, and she did have a good body. And
as it goes with Jamie, I could see it written all over her face, and I was like, what's happening? What just happened in there? Okay, let's talk about it. Jamie starts crying again.
I'm on the rowing machine, and all of a sudden I was like, I just can't. It's just really difficult. And then we started to chat about it, and I realised how different people's opinion and views are, and how people can say such a thing as a compliment, because in their minds and heads that is a compliment. So then tell what happened with the...
Yeah, so, well, as a kid, my journey's a bit opposite. I've always stayed naturally quite skinny, lean, and I've always wanted to be bigger because I grew up playing rugby, and I grew up watching all these cartoons that had like massively muscular men in them, and I'm like, I want to be like that. So I'd spend my whole youth trying to get bigger, be bigger, when naturally I'm quite skinny. So I would always say to people, and in Northern Ireland in general, as part of my culture, you'd say to people, all right, big lad, how's it going, big lad, big fella? All right, big girl. And we know not to say big girl, because that's just pushing the button a bit too much. But big lad, big fella, And so when I came into the gym, I said, oh, look, it's the big bouncers here, because two of the managers were standing there having a chat. And then one of the guys was like, whoa, hey, I'm trying to lean down at the minute. And I thought, oh, hang on a sec. I meant that as a compliment. But obviously his perspective is he's trying to look thinner, and maybe he struggles with that. And I've pushed that button Whereas if somebody would say to me, oh, you're looking really skinny, I'd be like, oh my God, I look skinny, this is terrible. So my journey is often the opposite, and that's what you'll find in life is people will have opposite journeys, and you're never going to know what you're going to say is how it's going to affect someone, but it is our responsibility how we receive it.
Yeah, and also whether the self-care and the self-acceptance comes in a lot. Like I've had my journey of, so I used to be a dancer, and at Dance Academy, well, the dance world is very well known about,
Terrible.
Yeah, not being great for body image. But I've worked a lot on that and trying to, forcing myself to stand in front of the mirror and to say the cheesy thing. Well, it's not cheesy because it's true, but that I love you. And even though I despise myself and my body at some point, and that's my interpretation, even though other people would say, but why would you feel like that? Because if I look at you, you look great, or, it's like, it doesn't matter if a million people say, oh, you look great, but you think you look shit. It's your own work. So that was reconfirmed yesterday when we had this thing and Andrew said that to me. I was like, well, there's definitely still a lot that I should do within myself. And again, maybe I haven't stood in front of a mirror for a while. Well, I did my makeup this morning, but really consciously looking at myself and saying, well, I love you, and naming 5 things. So that this also leads into...
Yeah, so basically, what are the ways that we can be better at not telling ourselves a story that's negative in our heads? And, we've just told our story of 2 people in a gym, never mind what all the other people in that gym were thinking, never mind what you're thinking looking at us, or what you're thinking another person sitting next to you is thinking looking at you. I mean, it's just a whole explosion of thoughts and chaos, and that's what we want to get away from. We want to get away from negativity and telling ourselves things that are not helpful. So we're going to challenge you this week.
Yes, and ourselves.
And ourselves, we're going to do it too.
To... like I said, just take a moment in a day, stand in front of the mirror and really consciously, even though, and it might be that you're not fully committed to or you don't really believe it, but really try to feel 5 and say 5 things to yourself that you think are great and beautiful or amazing about yourself.
And try and keep them physical, because obviously we will get to more topics later in other vlogs about comparisons and inner well-being and all that. Yeah. But today we're going to focus on physical. So list 5 things that you think are good about yourself physically. So for example, I would say, well, I like my nose, even though it's had a crack on it. I think my nose is good. It's got a good profile. Yeah. I like my smile. I also like my hands. Yeah. I like my legs. And I like my ears. That's a bit random, but it doesn't have to be cool. Thank you. Yeah. It doesn't have to be cool or something that's the same as what society tells you is beautiful, or you think society tells you is beautiful. Just what you think is beautiful about you physically. Yeah.
And also, so for me, a couple of years back, my cellulite, and I still have cellulite like a lot of other women out there.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people do.
And I would stand in front of the mirror, turn around, see my cellulite and say, I like it. And even though deep down inside, in an ideal world, I would probably rather not have it, but by sending positive vibes to it, I at least accept it more and more. And so it's...
Because it's not something you can change. Well, no. Technically you can in the modern world, but that's another whole vlog in and of itself about changing your body, which I'm sure we'll get to.
Yeah, but for now, that's the task. And we're going to do it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And so have a good week. Loving your body confidence and increasing it and making yourself feel happier from within.
Yeah, and see you next week. And if you know someone who does go through some stuff, we all do. We all do. Yeah. But if you want to share this video,
please share it.
You can.
Spread the love.
Spread the body confidence love. Yeah.
And we'll see you soon.
Bye. Bye.